topic we want to start is sequence and series. So first of all, I'll start with the sequence. What is sequence and what is its convergence and everything. Okay. So let's just start. What is the sequence? Okay. So sequence is something. I'll give you a very straightforward definition. A sequence is a function from n to r or c, right? So that means a sequence is a function from set of natural numbers to a real valued number to the set of real numbers or complex numbers. That's it. So generally we will be dealing with the real numbers rather than the complex number. So let's start with a few examples. Okay. So say we have fn is equal to n square, right? So if you say f1, that will become 1, f2 of course 4, f3 of course 9, and so on. So the sequences, so we may also represent it with the an as well. So an is n square. So the sequence is having terms 1, 4, 9, 16, and so on, right? And there may be another example. Say an is equal to 1 by n. So domain is always a natural number, right? So a1 is 1 by 1, a2 is 1 by 2, a3 is 1 by 3, and so on. So we have a sequence with having number 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, and so on. So are you getting the thing? Are you getting the definition of sequence?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. If you have any problem, you may ask. Okay. So can you see a difference between a sequence and a function? The regular function which we used to do, right? So can you tell me, is there any difference between if I say right 1 by n or if I say 1 by x? Is there any difference? See the inherent difference.
Only
yes.
natural number can be put
exactly. Only natural number can be the input, right? Generally, we have a notation for x as a real number, right? So if you plot a graph of this, what do you get? इस तरह से and इस तरह से. Okay, so we allow negative numbers as well, we allow irrational numbers as well, we allow fractional number as well, but in sequence we only allow the natural numbers, right? So basically if we plot a sequence, then we'll get only dots, right? That's 1, say n is equal to 1, and n is equal to 2, only half, and this is 1, and n is equal to 3, this is 1 by 3, and so on, right? So sequence is what? It's a kind of dots, right? But graphically, if you see this is what? A line or a curve, right? Dense. This is just a set of dots. Is it okay? Are you getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, now I talk about the convergence. Now suppose you have a sequence, say fn is equal to 1 by n, right? So now you see that we'll be using the notation as an. So I'll start with the notation an. So let's say you have a sequence an. Now you see that if you take the terms of this sequence, you put 1, then you put 2, then you put 3, then you put 4, then you put 5, and so on. So does this sequence, is heading towards a special number? If I keep on putting such
Zero,
numbers,
Zero, sir.
of course, this will lead to what?
0.
So basically we want to say that if you take limit n tends to infinity, so 1 by n has to be what? 0. Right? But
Yes.
on the other hand, say if I have a sequence -1 raised to power n, so what will happen? So it will be like first term would be -1. So if I put n is equal to 2, it will become 1, and then -1, and then 1, and so on. So do you think that this sequence is heading towards a specific number?
No.
No, sir. No, sir.
Not at all.
No,
right?
sir.
So it will keep on, fluctuating between -1, 1, -1, it will keep on oscillating, right? So it will not go to a certain number, right? So what I'm saying is, so I use a word, a nice word. We say that 1 by n. 1 by n is convergent, right? But an is equal to -1 by n is what? Divergent.
Divergent.
So this is something which we know, right? But how to write it mathematically? In a sequence an is said to be convergent if for any epsilon positive, however small, there exist. This is a notation of there exist, right? There exist m such that said to be convergent. I missed one thing. Let me convergent to number L. Okay, such that en minus n can be made less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to n. Now this is something which you probably you do not get anything of that. Let understand this this thing with the help of an example. Okay, so if I pick the previous example, we have an to be 1 by n and limit, right? Limit n tends to infinity 1 by n, which is to be 0. So L is 0. So what I'm saying is, just think it as a game, right? So I'll explain that how to play this game. So before going into that, you see, if I want to make the difference of n and 0, 1 by n and 0, to be less than 1 by 10, can this difference be made less than this? Is there any value of n which satisfy this particular inequality?
Yes, sir. More
Yes,
than
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
From
Yes.
11 onwards.
So in place of m, we actually want n should be greater than equal to 11,
11.
right? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes,
let's say I want this inequality to be satisfied by the by choosing epsilon to be 1 by 100. So can I make this happen?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
for
sir.
what value of n?
Greater than equals to
Less than equal to 101.
True.
101.
So this definition gives you what? Now tell me. So now please listen to this, right? For any epsilon positive, however small, right? So this particular phrase, I'll call it as challenger, right? Is it okay? This particular phase, I'll call it as challenger, right? And then there exists m. Okay, let's with a different color. There exists m such that this thing happen. So I call it this phrase as defender. Okay, so there are two terms, challenger and defender, and this is a continuous game between challenge and defend. So what I'm saying is, you pick any small value of epsilon, you will always find a defender over here such that this inequality will hold, right? So see this. So no matter however small, why however small? Because the bigger number is, it doesn't make a difference, right? So if you say that 1 by n minus 0 ka difference, you want it to be less than 100, then it is always true. Are you getting my point? This is always true. Okay. So if you put, say, 5,000 over here, again, this is always true. So we don't need to worry. So what is the problem? So the problem lies between the smaller number, for the smaller numbers. So if I say put 10,000 over here, so I need n to be greater than 10,001. That's it. So this epsilon is always a challenge. And this is defender. This m is defender. So if defender, is able to defend every challenge, then we say that the sequence is convergent. Otherwise, it is divergent. You getting my point? So,
Yes.
so what I'm saying, I'm again, repeating the definition. That is what? So an is going to L if for any epsilon positive, no matter how small, if there exists a m, which is a defender, such that an minus L should be less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to m. If this thing happens for every epsilon, no matters how n big is, but if it is true, then it is fine, right? So see this. So do you think that if you put any epsilon over here, this m will be able to defend this?
No, sir.
So you give me a challenge then?
So 10,000.
So 10,000 I've already defended.
One.
1 is already defended.
Oh,
You just put a 1 over there. 2 over there. So what is your take on this? So can it be defended every time?
Yes, sir.
Bolo.
There should be only natural numbers on the right side. Right?
Yeah, of course. That I'm already telling you. Epsilon should be a real number. That's it. And m should be a natural number.
Yes, sir. Always true. Then it is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And
Then
that
it
is
is always
Always true.
always true, right? Fair enough.
Yes, sir.
Let's move to another example. So can this be true? Will this converge to 1? Do you think? So let's say you choose 5. So for 5 it is true, right? Either it will become -1, 2, 2 is less than 5. Or it will become 1 minus 1, which is 0. True, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But for smaller values of epsilon, it may not be true. In fact, it will not be true. How?
Yes, sir.
So suppose I say that should be less than 1 by 3. Can you do it? No.
No, sir.
No.
Because for few values it will work, right? Or more precisely, I would say that whenever your n is even, it will work,
Yes, sir.
right? But when your n is odd, it will not work because every time the difference would be 2, right? So what
Yes,
we
sir.
say, we say that minus n cannot converge to the 1.
1.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me,
Yes.
Sir, why do we put minus 1 here?
Equal to sign above?
Anything. Let me finish it. Yes. Please.
Sir, why we subtracted 1 here?
No. I'm saying that if it is convergent to L, I have chosen L to be 1. There has to be some value for L, na?
Or this
So
L
that's
can
what
be
I'm-
any number.
No, L cannot be any number. We are saying that it will converge to L if this thing happen. So if somebody asks you that, does this converge to 1? So of course you need to pick L to be 1, right? So this is the question.
Okay.
Okay. Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it fine? Are you getting the thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to ask anything?
So in the previous one,
Yes.
जिसमें सर आपने कहा था n greater than 101 है.
Yes.
तो उसमें 101 को इंक्लूड करेंगे ना, क्योंकि वो तो कंडीशन
of course.
Okay,
Is it fine now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is just now. See, you can also read this statement in an entirely different way. Okay. So if you see that 1 minus n is, and you say that n is greater than equal to 101, can you tell me that how many n's are not satisfying this particular inequality?
100.
100 and
And how many are actually satisfying this inequality?
Infinity.
Okay. So suppose I make the epsilon little bit harder. I give you a better challenge, right? Let's say 10,000. Okay. So then how many numbers are not satisfying this? How many terms are not satisfying?
10,000.
Less than
How many
10,000
are actually
or equal to
satisfying?
10,000.
Infinite.
So what does it mean? It means that no matters how hard your challenge is, only finitely many will not satisfy this inequality, and infinitely many will always satisfy the inequality. Is it okay?
Yes.
So in other words, we say that if a sequence En is convergent to L, then An minus L is less than epsilon is satisfied all but finitely many values of n. ठीक है ना? Finitely many को छोड़ के बाकी सबके लिए satisfy करेगी. So let's say if I put 1 by n, okay. So let's say I try to plot the values on a line. Okay. So let's say I have taken the value to be let's say over green line. I want to plot the values. Okay. So let's say this is 0 over here and this is 1 over here. So if you pick n to be equal to 1, then your value would be 1. You 2 that we have already done, right? And 3 1 by 3. So your first value would be 1, right? And your next value would be what?
1 by 2.
And your next value would be what? 1 by 3.
3.
Okay. So let's say over here. No. This is 0.5, right? And this is something over here, say 1 by 3. And then this is your 1 by 4. And that's how you say 1 by 5. And so on. So when you keep on increasing the number, there would be a big cluster around that 0. Right? So
Yes, sir.
now this 0 is your L. And these are the terms of the sequence. So when you say that An minus L, you are actually taking an interval around that 0. Right? So no matter how small that interval is, this interval will always contain infinitely many values from the sequence and will always discard finitely many values of the sequence, which you already see, right? Over here, as you were telling that. If this inequality is actually satisfied by infinitely many numbers, infinitely many values of n, and actually only finitely many cannot satisfy this. So the graphically it means what? If you plot these values, it means what? So no matter how small the interval around L is this, it will always contain infinitely many.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Bolo.
If we take an interval around any number, there will be infinite numbers.
Let me correct you. What I'm saying is, you need to take an interval around the limit, not around any number.
Okay.
It always contain infinitely many values from An. Okay? No matters how small it is. Is it fine now?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
मेरे को डाउट था एक.
हाँ, जरूर. अभी
सर
नहीं
ये जो इनइक्वालिटी है सिर्फ लेस देन या ग्रेटर देन मतलब दोनों पे काम कर सकती है ना, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द कंडीशन.
see what I'm saying is नहीं, ये जो inequality हमें यहाँ greater than चाहिए ही नहीं. That's what I'm saying. If you pick a loose epsilon, that means a very big epsilon, then it will always work. Then you say that it is always convergent, which is not so, right? So I have to make the challenge hard, and for making the challenge hard, I need to make the epsilon small, right? So I want to see. You need to understand that this is your point. This is where you are getting the limit. So this limit is nothing. In other words, it's just a point where actually a cluster of values are over there. So तुम देखोगे तो values का cluster है 0 के round, right? So if you want to prove that there is some cluster, so all you need to prove is what? You want that difference is pretty much small among the terms. You getting the point? क्लस्टर प्रूव करना है ना. क्लस्टर प्रूव करने के लिए क्या बोलोगे तुम? यही बोलोगे ना कि डिफरेंस छोटा होना चाहिए. बड़ा होने से तो क्लस्टर नहीं ना बनेगा. Is it fine? See the values are converging somewhere, so that means there is a point of cluster around it. Okay, so that cluster comes into the picture only when this difference keep on decreasing rather than increasing. Right?
Okay.
So that's why we take the difference of an minus L to be smaller than epsilon rather than bigger than epsilon. Is it okay?
All right.
In practical question, we'll be directly calculating whether this thing is coming out to be finite or not. If it is coming out to be finite, if L is finite, then an is convergent to L. Okay? Was it okay?
Yes, sir.
If it is not doing so, then we'll say that the sequence is divergent. That's it. So now, are you getting the point which I've already discussed? So, today's lecture was mostly from what is the sequence. Sequence is nothing but a special type of function which is having a domain as a natural number, set of natural numbers. And then we have convergence of the sequence, which we say that if you take n tends to infinity and if an is coming out to be a finite number, then we'll say that the sequence is convergent. Otherwise, we'll say that the sequence is divergent. So, there are many ways to look at the convergence. Able to, if m is, if m defends every challenge posed by the epsilon, then we'll say that the sequence is convergent. Otherwise, it is divergent. Another idea is you just plot it and you find that if there is some cluster over there to a point, then we say that the sequence is convergent, right? So throughout we'll be discussing only the real sequences rather than the complex sequences. So in definition of course, I've told that it may be a set of real or a complex, but generally in this course, we'll be discussing only about the real sequences. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So any question? If you want to ask any question?
सर ये जो आपने कन्वर्जेंट होने के लिए एक पर्टिकुलर कंडीशन बताई थी कि एल की जो वैल्यूज को वो सेटिस्फाई करना चाहिए वो फाइनाइट होनी चाहिए, तो जब आपने -1⁴n लिखा था तो उसके अंदर तो हमारी किसी भी वैल्यू के लिए -1 और 1 ही आंसर आ रहा था.
Yeah, I have taken -1⁴n.
Yeah.
So does it converge to 0?
नहीं.
कैसे प्रूव कैसे करें?
Taking any value of n.
Taking the difference of this and this.
Yeah.
And it should be satisfied by this for any value of epsilon, right? So let's say if I take the value of epsilon to be half, will it be satisfied?
No. No, sir.
So that means there is no value of m such that -n is greater than equal to m. Can you find such m over there?
No, sir.
So your defender is filled.
Yes, sir.
Right? It cannot defend the challenge posed by the epsilon. Right? So
Yes.
if every challenge, that's what I'm saying. You need to understand each and every word in the diff. If any epsilon, right? If every challenge is defended by m, then it's fine. Of course, for the different values of m, then it's fine. If there is one such challenge which cannot be defended by the m, then we say that sequence is failed to converge. That means your sequence is divergent. Okay.
Sir.
एक भी अगर ऐसा हो जाए, एक भी चैलेंज अगर ना, अगर सारे चैलेंज डिफेंड कर पाए, then we say that the sequence is convergent. Otherwise, we say that the sequence is divergent. Right?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yes.
कोई और कुछ
Sir.
पूछना चाहो? हाँ हाँ.
सर आई हैव अ डाउट एज वेल. सर आपने भी लिखा था लिमिट n टेंड्स टू इंफिनिटी an इज इक्वल टू l आ रहा था. सो जस्ट ये वाला.
Yes.
सर इसमें जो है अगर l आ रहा है, एक फाइनाइट वैल्यू आ रही है, तो
convergent
कन्वर्जेंट कहलाएगा. तो
हाँ.
क्या हम इसको इस तरीके से ले सकते हैं कि अगर एक प्रॉपर लिमिट एग्जिस्ट कर रही है
That's
तो वो
it.
कन्वर्जेंट,
मतलब यही है. हाँ, ऑफ कोर्स यही मतलब है.
सर हमेशा ट्रू रहेगी कि अगर जैसे
Of course,
ऑक्सीलेटिंग
हमेशा.
फंक्शन है, सर ऑक्सीलेटिंग फंक्शन है,
there are-
लिमिट एग्जिस्ट नहीं करेगी.
let me tell you. There are few textbooks which write it as a oscillatory sequence, neither convergent nor divergent, right?
Yes, sir.
And there are some textbooks which actually use only two classification. Either it is convergent or it is divergent, right? So
Okay.
better is this, that you take it very simple. If it is coming out to be a finite number, then you say that it is convergent. If not coming out to be a number, then you simply say that it is divergent,
Okay, sir.
right? Is it okay?
Yes, sir. So मतलब लिमिट एग्जिस्ट करेगी तो कन्वर्जेंट होगा.
बस अगर नहीं कर रही है तो डाइवर्जेंट मानो.
ठीक है सर.
जैसे ये.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So limit n tends to infinity, n square, it will definitely come out to be infinite,
Yes, sir.
right? And if
Yes,
you plot the values of this, ये बन जाएगा पहले 1, फिर बन जाना है 4, फिर क्या बन जाना है 9, and then
9,
16,
16.
and so on. So will it cluster somewhere?
No.
Of course not.
No,
है
sir.
ना?
No, sir.
Of course not. It will shoot to infinity, right? So it is always divergent.
Yes, sir.
So are you getting the difference between the convergent and the divergent?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any question if somebody wants to ask?
No.